pathology. There's histopathology, there's pathology, there's chemical pathology, and there's microbiology. That means that before you conclude on anything, you must have subjected the sample to these various, branches of pathology, so that you can come up with a good report. At the end of the day, the autopsy was done on the 21st of September. Police collected the sample on the 22nd of September, but they did not get the report until April 2024. Let's count down. October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months. A report that was meant to have taken 2 to 3 weeks. And the sample was sitting unattended to for 4 months. Again, Barrister Shitu reiterated that the report was inconclusive, the report was still work in progress, and the process of submitting it to court is deceitful, to deceive the court and divert our attention, because everything that was done, you see, there is this guy from Attorney General's office who was trying to downplay. At first, a lot of other lawyers kicked against him, but at the end of the day, he made a very salient point. He asked him that, well, how do you collect the sample? They say it's collected in bottles and it's put in a zip lock. That means they lock it. He now asked them, if the lock is broken, would the lab collect it? He said no. At that point, he rested his case. So, for everything that was done on Mohbad, he said that the report was inconclusive. He said that everything that was recommended to be done was not done. When they eventually said they did, which Barrister put it to them, that the same toxicology you're talking about, just admit that you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything because the NMS lab rebuked that you brought a sample to them at first. Secondly, you said the sample stayed 4 months. You cannot vouch for the viability. Maybe fresh samples could have been taken after 4 months. Do you understand? But something that you have left unattended to for 4 months, we don't know how it was stored. Maybe it's still viable. Modern science could still make it viable. But the fact is that it stayed with them for 4 months unattended to. So at this point, we concluded, and other cross-examination that was also done was also around all these questions. They established the fact that the wound on Mohbad's hand is superficial. That means that there is no puncture. And they asked him, Sashitu asked a very important question, that could that cut lead to death? He said no, that the cut was too minor. It couldn't lead to death. Okay, somebody now asked him a question, that when you conducted the autopsy, did you check the head, Mohbad's head? He said yes, he did. He said there was no cut to his head, there was nothing. They now ask him, okay, is it possible that if Mohbad has hit his head on the wall, maybe there's internal bleeding or anything? He said, well, if there was internal, he didn't say, he said if there was an injury to the head, he would have seen a crack. But they were asking him if there was an internal injury that might not have shown a crack, but had effects. He played around it like no, there was actually nothing around the head. They now ask him again that in the videos we've seen online, we saw that Mohbad's neck was bent, and that was there, a damage to the neck area and something. They said actually no, that the damage, as in because it was longer than the casket, so sometimes they might have to force the person in, but there was no damage, he didn't give account or a report on the neck, even though it was crystal clear that the head was bent. And for the head to be that bent, it must likely be broken for it to be bent. He said there was no observation around the head and the neck. So he played around the truth. So before I go to the family matter, I would open the floor for questions so that any areas I didn't touch, your questions could help me juggle my memory and I can give you answers to it before we get to the family. Thank you very much.
Carry on. We are watching this super story. Just carry on. Parolo, we are following. We don't want to dilute it.
Okay. Okay. You see, my last submission after the last inquest, I made it so clear that my critical analysis of this whole event and the scenarios that were playing out, I said it in Yoruba. Money korere kan koleti Nasareti ya Mohbad jade. I said it clear. In fact, you see, the last time a lot of people showed our empathy, but I liked what played out today. Everybody ignored Iya Mohbad, and they were looking at her tanu because it was all shameful eyes. Oju itiju, nothing wo. Do you know that Wunmi came to the court with not less than 15 armed policemen? 15. And I like what some ladies did, even though it requires a lot of guts and effrontery. As she was stepping out of the court, even with the police behind her, they just started raking. They started heaping curses, calling her Ashana, Bokojaye, blah, blah, blah. She ran into the car. Do you know that Iya Mohbad followed Wunmi and go? May bad family not happen to you. You see, over the weekend, I watched Karimo's confession. When Karimo said there was a time Mohbad was traveling and that on his way to the airport, his spirit was disturbing him. He went back to check his luggage and found that there was drugs in his bag. And he went back home. I cannot imagine what Wunmi is using to hold Mama Mohbad. Because all through today, you see, people just look at Baba Mohbad and think that man is alright. That man can never be alright. You need to see him. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá ti dé bí kan, wọ́n máa sorí kodò báyìí, and he will start shaking his head. You see, his actions, his spoken words. This man is in pain. This man is grieving. This man is dead inside. I will now tell you something that happened why the case was told. You see, there is this, I told you all the representations. There was a representation by the name Professor Smith, who came and said is interested party and is going to represent the public. Let me tell you why the magistrate did not admit Smith. Don't forget, there was representation from Nigerian Bar Association. There's representation from African Association of Women Lawyers. There is representation from the entertainment industry. Then there's representation for people who are not even members of the family. You see, we understand that an inquest is a public hearing. But the coroner said that Barrister Smith came after the coroner had proceeded wanting regional before he came. That if they are going to include him in the current proceeding, it will be setting them some miles back. But since that the inquest is a public hearing, he's allowed to come into the court and tell questions, which is fair enough. The coroner does not know you. The magistrate does not know you. The magistrate is aware that the world is watching, and she's conscious of that fact. So the magistrate is not biased by saying that, hey, please come when you can come to the court at any point in time and ask questions. But not being satisfied, he went to High Court to seek a motion for stay of execution so that they can come to the High Court and discuss why it should not be part of the inquest. So it is not as if the inquest has stopped. No. The man wants to bring himself in by fire and by thunder. And this is what I have to say to the people who are instigating this. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ rántí pé àṣesílẹ̀ òun ni àbọ̀ wá bá. You are using somebody's pain to catch cruise. I will not curse you, but I will pray a prayer. May what happened to Baba Mohbad happen to you. Then somebody will have the guts. It is the temerity. It is the effrontery for me. Ọmọlọ́mọlókú. Ẹ tún sọ fún bàbá ẹ̀ pé bó ṣe ẹjọ́ láti wá òkú ọmọ ẹ̀ kò tó yín. You say you can come with, a box of public opinion to say, hey, we are interested. This is the support we want to give to you. But if the father of the deceased is saying, no, I don't want your support, it is good and highly recommended that we respect our boundaries and respect the decision of father of the deceased. You now went as far, the magistrate was ready to take as many testimony. Don't forget, a lawyer came to represent the nurse. We were supposed to take updates. Lawyer Falade, which is Mohbad's lawyer, Oluwasanmi Falade was in court. Wunmi was in court. And the magistrate was ready to take as many witnesses as possible. But because of your own interest, selfish interest, you stall all these processes because you want to impose your lawyer on Baba Mohbad.
But how can a court,
yes, ma'am,
on a court proceeding be ongoing, and then the High Court, I know it's a higher court, but the High Court will stop and and over the issue that's and there will be an discussion. How is that? Does it make sense? Because let's be guided though. Let's be guided. Was this information passed on by the judge, or it is you people's assumption?
No, you see, at first, it was Sanshitu who informed the court that he received an order for stay of execution. Then the magistrate was surprised. He said she did not receive. Then she asked any other lawyer that did they receive? He said no. So when she rose, the first time she rose, she would take a break. Because that cross-examination of, in fact, he had to advise Barrister Shitu to take a chill pill like 3 times. Because the man was sweating and was talking on top of his voices. On top of his voice, rather. Just Shitu. So the magistrate was saying, calm down, sir, be calming down. Because it might intimidate. Because at a point, the pathologist was going to say, but I've answered the question. Then Sanshito had to say, hey, excuse me, I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria, so answer the question when I ask you to. He now has the court to tell the witness to comply.
It's stay of proceedings, because you said there's a picture.
Okay, sorry, stay of proceedings, Stay of proceedings, yes. Then the court now, when the magistrate rose, I think it was then she now went to, they informed her that there is actually that motion from the High Court. So she came back and she said something. She said, even though the coroner is a special court, but we are still going to respect the higher court for a stay of proceeding. But she wants to reiterate that the world is watching and they are watching what we are doing. That because of that, is going to accept it for the next 14 days. So that I think Baba's lawyer can go to High Court and quickly, sort out the scuffle, and they can fix another date for the next inquest.
Okay, so it was clearly stated that it was.
Yes.
Okay.
She stated that she received. At first, when we took the pathologist, she said it will continue because she has not received. So I think when she rose, she was informed that when they took it, she was now informed, and she came back to say that this proceeding is hereby, stopped, and everybody rose and said as your court as the court places, and that was it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
to the people, you see, I hope that everybody can learn public. Tá a bá fi ẹnu gé obì fún yín, ẹ lè má jẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá fi sọ̀rọ̀ fún yín, ẹni a wí fún ọba jẹ́ ó gbọ́. Ẹni a sọ̀rọ̀ fún ọba jẹ́ ó gbà. This process is also another agenda. Whatever agenda they are trying to push, I don't know. But just the same way Yomi had his agenda, these people have their agenda. Whoever is behind it, do not, my words, do not fall for this gimmick. Don't buy it. It's all charade. It's all lies. It's all attempt to distract the cause of justice. But one thing I want you to know, the pathologist ran and ran. Sa. Eventually, the outstretched arms of the law caught up with him. He came to Corona Inquest today. So no matter how much you try, you will only try. Emma forward go saying, but you cannot change anything. You cannot change anything. You cannot change anything. So whoever is behind this, be guided. You have only able to stop the proceeding. You can't stop the cause of justice. You can't stop it. It's not possible. Stop trying. Because this is more than you. It's more than your opinion. It's more than your intention. It's more than what you're doing. Because justice must prevail. Justice will be served. Justice for Mohbad.
Thank you so much.
I drop my mic, or I yield my mic.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. So, Prince K Crown, whatever you two, you were in the court. Kindly let us know what happened in the court. Thank you.
Said a whole lot, and whatever I'm going to say is just going to be repetition. But then, my observations, and there are some things that she actually said that I respectfully want to disagree with, because I don't want. I usually try as much as possible to always let us understand things perfectly, so that we'll be able to put out the right information out there, and it won't cause unnecessary dragging and all of those things. Now, I think I'm going to pick from the last statement that she made, that say maybe the Bankole and Smith, they are the ones that are trying to I think the mistake that was made is that the case is a public case, number one. Anybody can have the right to be there and to be represented, but if we look at this case, or whatever thing that has happened, if you look at it deeply, you understand that it was I don't want us, the reason why I want to explain this, I don't want us to I don't want the platform should be set for draggings, because people that will not, understand, basically they will feel maybe, she's the one that is trying to attack Aries and all of those things, Aries and co. But that is not the case right now. So it's actually a case between them and Baba Mohbad, knowing fully well that she was the one, that it was Aries, that maybe they came through Aries or whatever. So they don't want them. But the truth is that the magistrate at one time, walked them out of the court, and they strongly believe that they are interested in the case and they want to represent the public. That is what basically what they are actually fighting. That they want to, they want to represent the public. So, and I don't know if you remember, there was a publication that was made by Baba Mohbad, back then, with the legal team, that that doesn't have any legal representation. There are nobody that is representing them and all of those things. I think all those issues actually started, with them, before transiting down to the courts, and and with that, these things could have been avoided. Really, it could have been avoided, because we don't know. We cannot foresee. In my own opinion, we can't foresee that. Okay, it is these also people that will bring justice to us. Maybe what if it is their input also in the case will lead us to justice. Our goal is to get justice, and I think we should not personalize this case, in my own opinion, because the case is a state, I think I don't know how to say it. It is a case for not Baba Mohbad case. I don't think we should personalize that. Right? Not, but yes, I understand that they are the ones going to the court, but it is a case that that the states, the government itself, that they are prosecuting. So we should understand that anybody can, just the way anybody is free to go to the court, any interested party can decide to join it and all of those things. So it is something that could have been avoided, really. And and they did what they could do. I could remember one of those times that the magistrate himself told them that they can write to the High Court. He told them that they can write to the High Court, and measures have been taken. Now the question is this: why is it that the magistrate did not receive all of these things? Why is it that it was only Sanshitu that received it? I think all of them. I just believe that they were just trying to feign ignorance that they have not received it. That's as far as I'm concerned. Because today you could see the Naira Marley and Sam Larry lawyer. You saw the nurse lawyer. Although they were not present, but you could see their representative. So it was like a way of saying that okay, they were in attendance. And so they know that today it will not going to be. There have been speculations about it that the inquest will not hold. So they already know that the inquest will not hold. And I think the magistrate just also decided to take the cross-examination, because it has been thing that we have been waiting for a very long time. So she just decided to let's just take this thing, because if she had listened to Sanshitu before the proceedings started, we would not have had any inquest today at all. Of which I know that so many times, whenever inquest and there's any
interlocutory injunction.
Yes, she looks at it first. She looks at it first before even commencing the proceedings. So I think they all know. They all know what is, what is. So the magistrate cannot, for me. See, I said something one day on this platform when I went to I said the magistrate for me has compromised. I'm saying it and I'm saying it again, because see, the magistrate is doing all her best to make sure that these people do not appear in court, especially that nurse. Because before we went on the break, before she went on break, she was calling for the nurse, and it was a nurse's lawyer
Yeah,
that
I would like
how
to engage K Crown after his submission, please.
No problem.
Now,
Yeah,
it
I would
was
like to engage you, K Crown, after your submission, but I will take my time to listen to you. So I'm listening.
Please.
it was a nurse's lawyer that still, made the magistrate to understand that there is an injunction.
Okay, go ahead.
That there is an injunction. He made that to understand that there is an injunction, and that was why she said, okay, let me go and check and ask the registrar or whatever to see if it has been delivered to her on all of those things. And she didn't even take that. And when she came, she just said that there's an injunction from the High Court, and the court has been the inquest has been suspended. So I think they all know what is going on. They all know what is going on, and they all just try to, as much as possible, to make us believe that the magistrate just make us to believe that she doesn't know. The question I'm asking again: why is it that it's Sanshitu is the one that will receive an injunction, and the magistrate in the court, the person sitting in the case, did not receive that thing? Is it possible? I don't think it's possible. And she said she doesn't know about it. So I think we should understand that it is not just for Bankole and Smith. I'm only saying this the way I understand how it has been played, or how it is playing. Anybody could have their motive, but I don't think. I think it is. I think it was just the right thing that that
No,
they have done.
Wasn't there. The nurse wasn't there. That's not true.
The nurse wasn't there. Yeah, so I just think it is the right thing that they have done.
Okay, K Crown, can I engage you now? K Crown, can I engage you now?
Before you engage, let me ask you one question.
K Crown, can I engage you now?
The two of you can start the paper. Toby, ask for do you wait? Because I want to believe you want to engage him for a long time.
I just want to ask K-Crown one question. K-Crown, is it true that on Thursday, that's last week Thursday, that Yomi Fabiyi mentioned on his live show that the inquest was not going to hold or something like that? Is that true? Because I've been on like two platforms today where they said it. Is that true?
Well, I didn't hear. If Yomi Fabiyi has ever mentioned anything.
I don't want you people mentioning Yomi Fabiyi here. Why? And distract me. Who is Yomi?
Based on what K-Crown just said now, that people knew already that the magistrate was just
Yomi here. Yomi ti japa. Sọ̀rọ̀ Yomi bí báyìí. Gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yomi smarter, put it one side. Sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn tó make sense. Jọ̀ọ́. Sọ̀rọ̀ Yomi rárá, it's a distraction. Where did you get your speculations from? K-Crown, please. The speculation of you heard that you've been around, they were speculating it at one point.
I said the lawyers.
Network. K-Crown, it's a budget.
There is an injunction. I said they know that there is an injunction, and that is why you could see that the representative of those witnesses, like Sam Larry, the nurse, that is why you see them present in court. Even Falade, that is why you see them present in court. And when it's time for them to be called, that is when the nurse's lawyer decided to reminded the judge. The magistrate, that there's an injunction that she needs to attend to. So now, if the magistrate was calling for the nurse, because the magistrate said that there is an important witness that she has to take. So now they are calling for the nurse. Where is the nurse? Who will come and represent the nurse? The lawyer will stand up and say this and say that. So it is a well-planned thing.
Okay, it
is a well-planned thing.
That is what you think.
I don't believe that the magistrate is not aware. I don't think the magistrate is not aware. She is aware,
Okay.
And even if the magistrate is not aware, Sanshitu is aware. And why can't
is not around?
No, that is an injunction. That is an injunction.
Okay.
Yes, he's aware that is an injunction.
Yeah.
And so if Sanshitu is aware there's an injunction before today, then I think Mohbad also is aware that, or except maybe they didn't relate it to him. That there's an injunction.
Yeah, because if you have self proceedings, that means that the court is not going to hold. I mean, it's not going to hold.
Yes.
So how is it
it's
that
not going to hold?
Okay.
Only
Are you engaged? Let them engage you. Maybe she wants to try and bring out something from there. Yodu, please go ahead.
I would love to.
That's okay.
Okay, let me before she asks the question. Now let me say this. Now, you know, I remember, if you remember on this same platform that we were deliberating about the nurse. You know, when Bosma said that there's a
No,
okay.
He just wants to reiterate something. Okay, go ahead.